Okay, seems like we're on the air. Let me see something. Just hanging out. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me see something. Now we got this together. All right. Ooh, here we go. In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality's Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. And welcome to Super Bowl night, or whatever it is. I guess the Super Bowl crap is still going on. I don't know. I don't watch it. So I have no idea what's going on with the Super Bowl. I do know that all these black conscious, blackity black type folks, they talk all that crap, but it seems as though because of the Super Bowl, Facebook and a lot of the social media where these guys should be running their mouth, for some reason it's silent. Could it be because of the Super Bowl? Fake. Ooh, but what can you expect from people? The only thing they've ever known is slavery. You know, Massa like football, they like football too. There ain't nothing's changed. Yeah, whatever. The whole thing is a joke. Until we finally decide to support those who are real, the only thing you are going to get is nothing. That's what we have been getting all over YouTube. All these guys is a bunch of nothing. And then they fight and beef because you should have gave me some of your nothing. Oh man, it's very difficult. Y'all like that stuff. That's cool. You know, it's all right. Whatever you want to do, you know, you want to go to heaven, as they say in religion, or you want to go to hell, wherever you want to do, it's fine with me. I am happy with what I have to do and bring forth and present to the masses an alternative to the madness, because that's what it is. Not going to keep you long. Just want to say a few words here, and maybe I'll go check out the rest of the Super Bowl. Really, I'm going to sleep. I am fatigued. How we want to start this off? My subject, or that I've chosen for these few minutes: what fool loves the N-word? And I am going to just say outright, I'm going to use the word nigger. If you don't like the word nigger, you don't want to hear it, it's not a word I use all the time, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to use the word. I'm not going to be politically correct, the N-word and all that nonsense. Y'all know what the word is. You say it all the time. And I don't have time for it. It's not, like I said, it's not something that I use every day. It's not part of my vocabulary, but for the purposes of this talk, I want to just use the word nigger and be done with it. I don't want to be talking about, ooh, the N-word, the N-word. Yeah. Don't even sound right. Let's keep the dramatics, the nigger. Now, let's begin by saying this. When I was a child, perhaps, I don't know what grade I was in. First, second grade, I'm not really sure. Second grade, probably at the max. I'm not sure. But I had a teacher. Her name was Mrs. Steptoe. And I just recently found out that my teacher from long ago, in her 80s, they told me she passed away sometime last year. And of course, that hurt me very much, because as a child, as a little boy that did not know nothing, for some reason, and maybe y'all have experienced this too, some of you young brothers, older brothers too, You had a crush on your teacher. You fell in love with your teacher. I fell in love with this woman, Mrs. Steptoe. How you doing? I don't know what it was about Mrs. Steptoe, but I just love Mrs. Steptoe. I don't know what here I am, a little boy. I don't know nothing about love. But I know that when that woman stepped in the room, I don't know what it was about Mrs. Steptoe. Something, my heart just got to jumping, and you know, you start sweating. You just get so happy to see Mrs. Steptoe. Now, contrary to popular belief, I was a pretty smart child. I caught on to things pretty quickly, and my learning was, you know, I learned things pretty fast. Okay, now, but with Miss Steptoe, I want to play the dumb role, because when you play the dumb role, you get more attention from the teacher. So I'm pretending I don't know what I'm doing because I want Miss Steptoe to come help me. Miss Steptoe, you know, here I am, a child. I'm not a teenager. I am actually a child, 8, 9 years old at the max or whatever. And I just love Miss Steptoe. She smelled good all the time. She was always nice, pretty dresses. See, the love that you have for somebody outside of your family. You love your mother. You love your sisters. You love your brother and cousins, your father, and so forth. But the love you have for them, you love your nation. You love your dog Spot. But the love that you develop for a person outside of that family bond, that's a different kind of love. And I really didn't understand it, but it was driving me crazy. I love Mrs. Steptoe. I'm not going to lie. I love Mrs. Steptoe. And I got really, really angry when I found out she was a Mrs. Steptoe. And she had this husband, and I didn't like that man. I didn't like him at all. Every time he come around, I'm looking at him crazy. You know, this is a little boy, and you're tripping. I mean, you're really tripping. And jealous, she married. I mean, this woman had to be at least almost 30 years older than me or whatever, because she was probably just as old as my mother was or whatever. And I'm tripping. I had a hatred for Mr. Steptoe. I didn't like that man. Love Mrs. Steptoe. But, you know, time goes on. You can't have Mrs. Steptoe. And I was introduced to another young lady in my class. She was my age. Her name was Ida White. Ida Elaine White. Ida, give me a call. You out there, you see this video? You know who I am. I love Ida White. And Ida just treated me real nice. She used to share her paper and pencils. When I was going to school, you had to have pencil, paper, glue, you know, all the works to take to school. And my parents was tripping, didn't supply me with the things that I really needed for school. And Ida just, you know, everything she had, she shared with me. And Ida was just cool. And the feelings that I had for Mrs. Steptoe, I began to feel for Ida. You know, nobody's explaining this love thing to me. I said, why am I? And you know, you at the age, a lot of boys don't even like girls. I'm like, why am I liking these women and this girl like that? But I liked it though. You know, I love Ida. And then I think by the time we made it to the 3rd or 4th grade, I forgot which grade it was. For some reason, she and her family moved out of the district, the school district, and she was gone. So, you know, I miss Ida. By the time I made it in high school, I think I was a sophomore, freshman or sophomore. I forgot what, you know, that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. I can't really remember. Either I was a freshman or a sophomore in high school. And I transferred to another school. And guess who was there at the school? It was Ida was there. Now we teenagers now. No, last time I saw her, we were children in school, 8, 9 years old, whatever. Now we're what, 16 now or whatever. And don't you know, that feeling for Ida came right back. Like when I saw her, when she turned around in that classroom and I saw her, I said, there go my Ida. Didn't miss a beat. Wow. So why are you bringing all this up, brother? I want to talk about this word called love. I was in love with Mrs. Steptoe. Just to see her every day. Just to smell her perfume. You know, I wanted to see Ida. That thing called love. There was a story I saw about a mother cat, and her kittens was trapped in a house, and the house was on fire. That mother cat did not care anything about that fire. That mama cat kept running back and forth, and she had like 5 or 6 kittens in that fire. She went back and forth, getting those kittens out of that fire. And her fur was all burned up and whatever. She got all her babies out of that fire because of that, the love, that connection she had to her kittens. There was a story I also heard where there was another mother, a human mother, and something had happened, and this car was on her child. That mother, little tiny woman, they said that woman lifted that car just enough, got the strength to get her child out from under that car. That adrenaline from that emotion of love helped her lift that car just enough to grab her child out from under that car. This shows you the power of love and the energy that comes with this emotion. However, some of us use the word love loosely. And that's the subject that I've chosen today. Instead of saying, what fool loves a nigger? I wanted to say, what fool loves a soul brother or sister? What fool loves a Negro or the colored man? What fool loves us? Well, there are Black Power family. There are many who claim they love us. But would they run and risk their life in a fire to get us out? See, love can also, eventually, it would be tested. We can say we love this. Oh, I love my wife. If you love your wife, why are y'all getting a divorce? You love your children. You ain't paid child support in 7 months. I love Ruffy. You love Ruffy. Ruffy needs the dog. Ruffy the dog needs their hair cut and whatever they do for dogs. You love, but you don't love enough to go to work and get a damn job. You don't love enough to sit with your wife and say, look, baby, I can't afford to lose you. Let's talk this out. I cannot afford to lose you. You got this big macho thing. Who the hell is she? But I thought that you love. See, love make you bow down. Love make you do things you ordinarily might not do. But you do it because you love. Your wife might be in the wrong, but because you love and you want to avoid all conflict as possible that might interfere with your love, then you say, okay, let's agree to disagree. I'm done with it. I love you too much to be arguing with you. You love your children, but you ain't paid child support and haven't done nothing for them in months. You're not picking up any cans. You're not washing no dishes. You're doing nothing, but you love your children. Don't your children have to eat? Don't they need shoes and clothes? Need to go to the doctor? What kind of love is this? We use love loosely. So I'm going back to those who say or make a claim, I love black people. You are a I love lie. If these really love a nigger, it's very difficult to love a nigger because niggas always doing something you don't like. You love black people or you love a nigger, well, look at me. You will consider me a black people. But just because many folks don't like what I have to say or bring, you don't love me. Well, you are a liar then, because I'm part of black people. You cannot distinguish. If you said black people, that means you mean all. If you're not loving, if you need to say, I love certain black folks. Don't say you love black folks as a whole, because you're a liar. You need to say, I love the black folks with the blonde hair, the fat black people or something. Be specific in what you're talking about, because when you're talking about you love black folks or you love a nigger, then you are a liar. Because your actions don't show that you love. Because when you love, you go outside of yourself for the one that you love. You love your wife. You tired. But you stop by the flower store and get her some roses on your way home to show her that you've been thinking about her. Your little boy needs a pair of shoes. He didn't know he's going to get any. And you make a deal and you do some swaps and you get your child. You do all this because you love your children and you love your wife or your husband. You go out of your way to make a special meal for your husband. He works every day and you know it's hard, and maybe you work too. But you find the time. Here's a special meal for the one that I love. There's a song that Elvis Presley sung. There's a fool. Now and then, there's a fool such as I. When you love, sometimes you can be a fool because you do things that you ordinarily would not do. And sometimes the person that you're trying to show love to don't even deserve. That's what makes you a fool. So we're going to use the word nigger because we know how niggas act. Trifling, profane, disrespectful, uncivil, stupid, drunkards. The names can go on and on. How could you really love somebody like that? If you understand that's not who we really are, then you could love them. Sometimes we have to understand that people are sick. And just because somebody is mentally ill or sick, do that mean that you love them less? If your mother turned into, or your father or a cousin or somebody that you love turned into a crackhead today, do that mean you love them less because now they become sick? They become addicted to this drug? No. You still love them and you try to find a way to help them. And you don't help them by making mockery of their addiction, of their mental illness. So you have many folks on social media and they make mockery. Black people are lazy. They're trifling. They're stupid and they're dumb. And you think by making mockery and calling childish names, that's supposed to change their behavior. That don't work. It never has worked and never will work. And the sad thing about it is when it's your turn and somebody calls you a name, you can't handle it. Why are you doing that? That's childish. That's stupid. But it's all right for you to call others lazy and trifling. Well, it's true. There's a whole lot of things in life that's true. That don't mean we have to talk about it. If you love. Because if you love, you don't want to hurt the person that you love. True or false. You avoid hurting those that you love. But when you really don't love and you really don't care, it's easy to call a woman a whore if you don't love her. It's really easy to call a woman a bitch when you don't love her. A man a thug, or a man, whatever name that they come up with men to make us look weak and pathetic. So this is about love. What fool loves a nigga? Well, there are many who say they do. But clearly, they would take your money. Oh, we know that. Can you donate to my Patreon account? I'm going to open up a Patreon account. Will y'all donate to my Patreon account? I sure appreciate it. If you love me, they will take your money from anybody. I could send a check right now to some of these suckers. I bet you they'll cash that check. But they won't have no contact with me. They won't talk to me because they don't like what I have to say. But they will cash my check. Fake folks. If I don't like you, I don't want your money. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't want your money. I don't want your time. I don't want nothing to do with you. Why are you going to cash my check? But they will. I didn't know it was you. You're a damn lie. I guarantee you, if you got one of my checks, you'll know it's me. No doubt. So we're dealing with all these fake folks that talk about they love a nigga. See, we are beautiful people at heart. We are not niggas. We are not Negro. We are not none of this stuff, these names that people have forced on us. That's not who we really are. What do your religion say? As a man thinketh, so is he. We've been called nigger for so long. We've embraced that name. And in embracing that name, you and I, we've become that creature called nigger. But that's not who we are. As a man thinketh, so is he. We've called women whores and bitches for so long. Now women and girls call themselves hoes and bitches. Ain't that something? As a man thinketh, so is he. I'm a proud bitch, some of these women say. I'm a proud nigga, some of y'all say. But this is what happens when you are subject of abuse. You begin to copy and believe what your abuser tells you. You's a hoe. So that woman believes that's what she is. You's a nigga. And we happily and justify calling ourselves nigga that we learned from a racist. Who loves a nigga? Well, maybe that's the reason why so many of us, we are attracted to this person, whether this person is real or fictional, it makes no difference. Maybe this is the reason why we love Jesus. Because in this Jesus person, in the belief of Jesus, the love coming from Jesus is real. The love coming from Jesus is sincere. You don't have to worry about that. Jesus loves you. There are no strings attached. Jesus loves you if you are a nigga. Jesus loves you if you're a drunk, a drug addict, a hoe and a bitch, a thug, a thugette, a ratchet, whatever you find yourself in life, Jesus loves you. And then you're going to turn around and tell people, you shouldn't believe in Jesus. That's a white man. Jesus never existed. It makes no difference. When people have been abused and they hurt in the inside, they need a relief. And the belief in Jesus gives them relief. Because if nobody else loved me, I know Jesus do. Jesus loves so much that you can do him wrong, nail him to a tree, and he talks to his father. And he tells his father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That's the kind of love that this Jesus has. And if you really want to help the nigger, if you really want to help the black man, soul brothers and sisters, that's the type of attitude that you have to have. You have to have the type of love that this Jesus represents. Even when the niggers or the black people, soul brothers and sisters, when they reject your love and you are attacked, you have to be like that Jesus if you really love. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. You have to have the same type of love that I felt for Mrs. Steptoe, for Ida, for your wife, for your husband, for your children. The same type of life, the same type of emotional connection you have for your personal biological relatives or your lover. You have to have for us as a people, but you don't. Your love has strings attached, and you don't like this one and you don't like that one. That's not how it is with Jesus. There is no strings attached with Jesus. Jesus loves you no matter who you are, where you go. That's the kind of love. If you want to really solve the condition of black people in this nation, if you really want the nigger to change, then that nigger has to feel loved. The same type of love that is felt, people feel that Jesus gives to them. Your love will be better because you are alive. If you can get people to feel your love for them. Jesus can't return love back, but you and me can. And people are not stupid. Children are not stupid. Even a dog is not stupid. They know when somebody really loves them and not putting on a show. They know. Man, if we could only love ourselves, love our people. Well, I love black folks, but so-and-so is a homosexual. So-and-so used to be a bank robber. So-and-so is a hoe. So-and-so, you don't love nobody. You don't love nobody, really. So you need to shut up with your lies. Because if you love, your love overcome everything else, you would be like the Jesus. You will feel the same type of love that you have for your mother, your family, your husbands and children, you would have for us as a people. And if your family was gay or drunks or whatever you don't like, if you really love them, you're not just going to throw them out into the streets. You want to help those of whom you love, regardless to their condition. It is a wonderful thing to be in love. Being in love is, whoo, man, it's a great, great feeling. I would hope one day, soon, I could feel that for another human being of the opposite sex. not of the same sex. I don't play that. If y'all do that, that's on you. I still love you. There's no strings attached with my love. I'm like the Jesus for us. I love you because I love myself. So if I love myself, I got to love you. And I love me with no strings attached. No, I don't like your lifestyle. I don't like the fact that you are a bank robber, a gang member, or there's a lot of things about you, I don't agree with, but that does not diminish my love for you. And I'm going to do what I can to help make us better. I'm going to include myself in this because we all are niggas. We all are sick. But he's more sick than me. Well, that's good for you. Then you heal yourself from your sickness, and then you help those who are still sick. And you don't do that by making mockery of their sickness. Like some people come to me, well, black folks is lazy and trifling and this and that. And I don't want to hear that garbage. Take your ass away from me. Because, see, I love us. You don't. You want to try to make us into something so you can prove something to some sucker out on the street somewhere. The hell with them. I'm not trying to impress no damn racist or some Chinese or the Japanese or anybody on this planet. I'm not trying to impress them. The hell with them. You want to try to impress somebody. Get the hell out of here. Move out. I want to say this quickly in my conclusion. Like I said, we're not going to be here very long. About love. I want to talk about the love of a black man to his woman, to the mother. There are a lot of soul brothers here that have lost that connection to soul sisters. They don't have any love. Why is that? I could even assume that some of these young men hate their mother. Something is wrong somewhere when you don't like womanhood. Because there's nothing more than a man can love is his woman. And I tell y'all all the time, I love womanhood, period. But of course, the soul sister is number one, because that's my woman, that's my sister. That's me. That's my other half. That's me. But I love womanhood, period. You have these guys here. I don't know what their problem is. I can only assume, I can only guess. But I'm telling you, and I ask these young men, these soul brothers who have a problem, always talking about the black woman do this and the black woman do that. I ask them, was you breastfed or was you raised on Similac? You're going to tell me that you have love for your mother and your mother did not give you her breast? She gave you a can of Similac, Enfamil? That's your problem. That's the beginning of the problem right there. I'm telling you. These guys was raised on cow's milk and Similac and Enfamil, these chemicals. They don't have that emotional connection to their mother. Thus, they don't have that emotional connection to womanhood itself. It's not about falling in love with some woman. These girls or women, I want to find a lover. You have to fall in love with womanhood, period. She's just not somebody to lay down and you can hump on. That's not her purpose. Well, some of it, I mean, that's how we got here, of course. But she's more than that. They don't have an emotional connection to the mother. Because when you are on that mother's breast, your body is feeding physically, and you're also getting an emotional connection to your mother. You're still connected to her heartbeat, her rhythms of her body. But when you are given a chemical in a can, what are you connecting to? That's why these guys, these men, have this hatred and dislike for womanhood, period. So recently you heard about this thing, the increase. Folks are buying these dolls. And you might have better luck with the doll because that doll is the same thing as that can of Similac and Enfamil. There is no emotional connection. And you don't need one. Thus, you have no connection to life. If you can't connect to a woman, you don't have life itself. You've lost your soul. And many of these guys think that's a good thing. Oh, it's not a good thing. You are truly lost. But there are men like myself who would love a nigga. I'm not going to turn my back on you. I'm not going to make mockery of you. I want to talk with you so we can help each other in this struggle to evolve from the nigga to this person that I call soul brother and sister, so we can represent life. So you have these sisters, and they can't find love, true love, in their men. And you wonder why they foam at the mouth and hoop and holler and jump around, happy to go to church every Sunday to praise this man called Jesus that they will never meet. They would never touch Jesus' hand. They would never kiss Jesus. They would never make love to Jesus. It's just an idea they have made real in their mind because they're looking for love. And there's nothing wrong with looking for love because that's a wonderful feeling. But what if that woman, what if she can get what that Jesus gives her in a living and breathing for real man? Oh, wow. Then we really got it going on because you can kiss her. You can hold her when she cries. And when she's in pain, hug her when she's happy. And show her that you can love her just as much as Jesus can or could have if Jesus was around. And that's what it's all about. It's about love. What fool loves a nigga? Most people, if they can't get nothing out of you, they're not interested in trying to love you. What I get out the deal? Do I get some sex? Do I get some money? Do I get a car? What kind of love is that? We don't want that kind of love anyway. You want the same kind of free love that you give your mother and father and children. The same type of free love I gave my teacher, Mrs. Steptoe, and my classmate, Ida. That type of love. Sincere. That's the type of love. And if we could show our people this love, no matter what they say or do, whatever, I love you. If they could feel that love coming from the so-called Black conscious community, you'd be shocked at what you could do almost overnight. You'd be shocked what you could do if you love. That is one of the solutions to begin the process to change. If you don't really love us, what's the sense of changing? Don't make any sense. Might as well stay the way we are. So with that said, thank you for listening. I just wanted to speak with us for a few minutes. And we have to, if we really don't love us, then stop saying you care and you just want somebody to donate to your Patreon account. That's not what it's about. Until somebody can really show this group of people that they are loved and somebody really do care about them. I don't care about your money. I don't care about what you can do for me. I love you for you because you are me. If they could feel that love coming from the so-called Black conscious community, those of us who supposed to love them, you'd be amazed at how fast things are changed and the way things will move. I'm telling you, because love is a hell of a thing when people begin to love one another. I thank you for listening. And until next time, as Don Cornelius always used to tell us, as imparting, I wish us love, peace, and y'all know, soul